Have you ever been under pressure? You think, as for this, I can't survive it. I'm dead. Oh, this is too much. And then you wake up in the next morning, 5:30, the birds are still singing. You're still alive. It didn't kill you. We are hard pressed on every side, yet not crushed. God is going to put you under so much intense pressure that you would think you are dying. And that is when a lot of people run out from pressure training. They go to somebody who will pat them at the back and say, it doesn't matter. Don't worry. Here you are loved. You are accepted as you are. May I suggest to you very strongly, anybody who suggests to you that the way you are is okay, that you don't need anybody to change you or to put pressure on you, doesn't love you. They are speaking words of love to you, but it's words of destruction. They are making you take life easy, but life is not easy, my friends. There's going to come intense pressure, and that pressure is designed to bring oil out of you or treasure out of you, and it will squeeze you until every last drop of oil comes out of you. But Paul says, when that pressure comes, you will not be crushed. We are hard pressed on every side, yet not crushed. Then he says, perplexed. Perplexed. Have you ever been under pressure that now you are at a loss? You don't know what to do. You don't know where to turn. When you are being squeezed, you feel dry, you feel empty. It seems as if everything in you is drained. And you are trying to find out, where is help? No help. Perplexed. When you think, I've given my best, I've done all that I can do, I don't know what to do again, I want to give up, this is too hard. You stay in. You stay in. That is pressure. It's like when you're pushing your muscles. If you've done strength training, you're pushing, and your trainer says, go ahead, give it one more push. You say, I can't do it again. I can't. Push! That's how babies are born. That's how muscles are strengthened. When you don't know what to do, when you are perplexed, you think you've done all. I've pushed all I can push, but the baby has not come out. Push! It's called pressure. And you need a trainer who puts you under that. He said, even my father didn't do that to me. Even my mother, your father didn't like you. I'm telling you, he loved you but didn't like you. Even my father hasn't said that to me. Yeah. That's why he's your father. But now you need a coach. You need a trainer. You need somebody who can draw oil from you. You need somebody who can pull treasure out of you. And when you're crying, he doesn't get sympathy with your tears because he believes in your potential more than your pain. Paul says we are perplexed, but not in despair. In other words, I don't know what to do, but I still have hope. I don't know where to turn, but I still think it's going to be all right. Hard pressed, being squeezed, being perplexed. And the third thing he says, persecuted. Persecuted means to be harshly pursued. You are being hunted. Can you imagine, feel squeezed, very dry, and yet being pursued? You feel you are alone in this world. Persecuted. What life is taking too much from you. It's like a woman who wants to get a PhD. You have 3 children. You are working. And you are married to a very, very traditional Ghanaian. This is what is called persecuted. Who wants his food hot? And your children, children have no sympathy. Mommy, my back, mommy. And they don't know you have an assignment to give. And your boss is putting pressure on you. And your supervisor is putting pressure on you. And everybody's saying, are you crazy? Stop it. Because the top is only for a few people, my friends. The majority are at the bottom. The majority are at the bottom. They'll tell you, why are you killing yourself? Why are you doing this to yourself? Please stop it. You feel life is harassing you. But a couple of months later, you get those 3 stripes on your attire, on your gown. And they will call you Dr. So-and-so. And that is why everybody will come and say, hey. Everybody wants to take a picture with you. But when you were running, you were being squeezed. You were being pursued. You were being persecuted. Your husband was not understanding. Your children had no understanding. The supervisor had no understanding. When nobody encouraged you, Paul says, persecuted, but not forsaken. Although I know everything is against me, I still believe God is for me, that God is with me, that I'm going to go through this and I'm going to get out of it. If you want to be ordinary, live your life as it is. But if you want to be extraordinary, you have to put in extra. And life will demand extra from you. So Paul is talking about the treasure in us. And the reason all of this is happening is not because anybody hates you. It's because there's treasure in you. And the treasure must come out. Look at some of the great people who have accomplished things in this world. Take the sports world, take a person like Ronaldo. Arguably the best footballer. Arguably. I'm not saying he is. Arguably. Because there are arguments against that. Look at his training schedule. His friends are sleeping, he's working. I saw a video of Kobe Bryant who just died. May God have mercy on him. And I saw his training schedule. Everybody, his friends are asleep, he's going the extra mile. He's working hard because I'm telling you, excellence is not cheap. You will be squeezed. You will feel harassed. You will feel persecuted. And then the 4th thing Paul says, he says, struck down. Struck down means to be put down. Whilst you are doing all of this, somebody is trying to put you down. You hear things about you that are painful and heartbreaking. People are going to ask you, why are you killing yourself? Is this your father's work? Don't you have anything better to do? If you're a woman, they'll tell you, you will not have any man to marry you. Oh. You can never achieve it. They're trying to put you down. Striking you down, but you're still going because there's treasure in you and you want that treasure out. Hard pressed, perplexed, persecuted, struck down. It is the pressure, kind of pressure, that releases treasure out of it. And get this from me, the quality you produce in life is directly related to the pressure you submit yourself to. The quality you will produce is proportionally related to pressure. If you hate pressure, you hate success. You hate your soul. Some of you get under pressure, you move. Under pressure here, you move. Under pressure, you move. Oh, the way he's treating me, I don't like it. The way he's treating me, I got up this night, I got up that night, and I work. Do you know that every discipline you acquire in training is for yourself? It's not for your boss. When you go to school and get a degree, is it for your teacher? No. When somebody is pressurizing you, every skill you develop is for you. When you work somewhere and they put you under pressure, everything you acquire, every ability is for yourself. So when you run away from training, you are running away from yourself. Struck down, but not destroyed. Now, Paul later talks about two kinds of pressure. And I would end with that. 2 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 5. For indeed, when we came to Macedonia, our bodies had no rest. Talk about pressure. But we were troubled on every side. Outside were conflicts, inside were fears. So he's talking about outside pressure, inside pressure. So let me give it to you. Pressure from outside us. This is where much of our journey for excellence starts from. It starts first with what God has called us to be. What we believe God wants from us. If you believe God wants you to be the head and not the tail, then there's going to be pressure to be the head and not the tail. How many of you believe God has a plan for your life or a purpose for your life? Good. And how many of you know that purpose? You know that purpose. Okay. Some of you don't know. If there's anything you need in life, is to know what you are trying to achieve in life, what your purpose is. If you know you must be at level 100, you will have to work to be level 100 when you're starting from 1. So when you get to 2, you don't get satisfied. You have to know the demands of God for your life. What is the high calling of God for you? If you know the high calling of God is your first level of pressure, because all that we want to do in life is to please Him who called us. The second thing about pressure from outside is the demands of those who need us. There could be those above us who need certain results from us or outputs from us. They need us to operate at a high level or capacity. They raise the bar constantly. It's pressure. When you've written a report 20 times and it's still not accepted. And you say, oh, this woman, he hates my eyes. Just translate it. He hates my eyes. That's Ghanaian English. He hates my eyes. So I write, I've written the report 20 times. One human being. What kind of report do you want? Do you want my head to eat? No, he doesn't want your head to eat. He wants oil to come out of you. You are still raw olive fruit, and the oil must come out. You write that report 50 times until you get it right. It's the demands of those who are above you, and the demands of those who are under you, your children. They don't care whether January is a difficult month. They don't care. I like children. I've told the story of when my wife and I had our first daughter. Thank God. Pressure. We hadn't had a baby before. And we're buying SMA baby food. And we're told, start with SMA Gold. We didn't know what SMA Gold. You know, when you're a good parent, you just start buying anything expensive. SMA Gold. And at the point, we just said, this thing is affecting us, because this baby is eating and eating and eating and eating. And so at a certain point, we realized our budget can't handle SMA gold. So we did normal SMA. And we mixed it and we said, baby, baby, yeah. She put it in her mouth and put it in her face. She says, you think my standards are level? You've put me at gold level, now you want to bring me to bronze? What kind of parent are you? It's called pressure! And you can't debate with a child. You can't say, listen, sweetheart, the world is hard. We just celebrated Christmas and New Year. We are not in general. Please understand me, accommodate me. We haven't had promotion. It's called pressure. You would think twice. I'm telling you. Something in you will have to start thinking. Maybe I should go and have a poultry farm in addition. Maybe I should rear snails. Maybe I should do something else because this baby is not giving up. It's called pressure. Pressure from without. The demands of those who need us. The demands and the schemes of those who want to destroy us. This has to do with all the threats we face to our survival and safety. At every point in time, someone or something needs you out of the way. Their success requires your failure. And it's not personal. Because a lot of things in life are zero sum. A lot of things. When we say something is zero sum, it means that one is winner take all. A lot of things. When you go for interview and they are interviewing you, it's zero sum. If they take this one, they won't take me. So if you are the one winning the interview, you think the other should fold their arms and say, oh, we love you so much. Go ahead and get a job. We'll go home and eat our gari soakings just like that. No. They're going to do everything to try to make you fail. Because your success is going to go to their disadvantage. Every day in the morning, a lion gets up to try to get an antelope. And if you're an antelope, you get up, you have to know, lion is coming. Leopard is coming. Hyena is coming. Cheetah is coming. Tiger is coming. All these assorted enemies require you. They require you to survive. Now you can sit down and say, Mommy, you are gone. So you're going to make sure nobody is going to eat you. For that to happen, there's pressure on you from sun up to sundown. Because somebody needs you to fail. And it's not because he hates you. It's just because he needs to survive. Don't go and hate him back. He needs to survive. And he's going to do everything to destroy you. Most of the people who want to destroy you, they don't even know you. And that's why people sometimes, what have I done against you? What have I done? What have I done? I don't even know what you have done. You are succeeding. You don't need to personally harm people, but you are in their way. You are in their way, and you have to keep moving ahead so they don't destroy you. Don't sit to be destroyed. There's pressure. Paul calls it pressure from outside. Everywhere he wants to go. When he went to Ephesus, and he said, there's only God, Jehovah. The people who make idols for the god of Ephesus, Diana, he said, this guy is spoiling business. Because if these people believe there's only one God and Diana is not a god, then all these craft work we have done, the business is collapsed. I want to take a loan to start this business. Paul's preaching is undermining my business. His preaching is not good for business. So they had to maneuver to get Paul into jail. for business to survive. That's what Paul is talking about. He says pressure from the outside. You want to succeed in life? You want it? You want to excel? You want to be the head and not the tail? You want it very well. You want a testimony by December to see what God... You want a testimony. This is how it happens. Pressure from outside. Then Paul talks about pressure from within. Pressure from within. What is it? Pressure from within. I'm going to give you three, then I'll shut down. First, pressure from within is the fear of failing in our mission. Tell me a person who is not afraid of failing. I'll tell you a person who is going nowhere. If you're going to succeed in life, something in you must urge you to move on, and one of those is the fear of failure. Everybody who has a fear of failure acknowledges that yesterday's success can't survive today. Paul himself had fear of failure. He says in 1 Corinthians chapter 9 verse 27, he says, "But I discipline my body and bring it into subjection, lest when I have preached to others, I myself should be disqualified." Paul says, if I don't make it, I'll be disqualified. And because I don't want to fail and be disqualified, I put my body under subjection. I put myself under pressure. Why do you think I'm still preaching hard like this? Pressure. Yeah. Because somebody just started his church. He has 2 members. He's targeting my church. He's targeted you to go to his church. So can you imagine, I come here, I'm telling Nancy stories, and because I've been doing this for 40 years, before I realize the church is empty, There is a lion who has started his life. He's hoping I've become an antelope. Those of you who are a little older, you're 60, you're 70, you are 65, you are 50, and you say, "Oh, I'm old. Let the small boys do it." Are you crazy? Which small boys should do it? Get up and go hunting. Get up and start running. Get up and get a job done. This is not time for any small boys. This is time for you to put yourself under pressure, because Paul says, if I don't do that, after all that I've done, I will be disqualified. The fear of failure. It's good to have that fear. It's a healthy fear. I was telling somebody, after all that I've preached for over 40 years, I'm never confident preaching. There's never been a time I finish my sermon preparation and I say, "Oh, this one is going to be super." Never. I have to pray, "Lord, help me. Lord, I need you." Because the day I stop fearing, I stop trusting God. And I'm just going to go say, "Oh, I've done it so long." And the first time you flop, people who have liked you all this time, they say, "Yeah, we saw it. We've been seeing it for the last..." We see he's going down, 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 down. You think I don't know you? I know you. The fear within, fear of failure. The second fear within is realization of our own limitations. When we realize that there are things we don't know how to do. There are those who allow their limitations to freeze them. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people who are overconfident and just feel, "Oh, I can do it. Oh, I'm better. Oh, I'm the best." My wife would tell you, in all the years she's known me, there's never a time I've preached somewhere she asks, how did it go? And I'll say, it was fantastic. I've never said that. Oh, how did it go? My only answer is, it was okay. But people say, oh, the meeting was great. How did it go? It was okay. It was bad. It wasn't bad. Because I know my inadequacies. The moment you say, oh, it was fantastic. Hey! The way it was, yay! I'm telling you, it was fire! You are finished. You have no sense of inadequacy. You think you are all in all. You think you have it covered. That is the beginning of your downfall. Paul says, Paul, who wrote 2/3 of the New Testament, he says, I am so afraid I will be disqualified. So I put pressure on myself. The third pressure from within is the ambition to be the best for God. Ambition has sometimes a negative side. I'm talking about positive ambition. The Apostle Paul is a very ambitious man. Listen to him as he says in Romans chapter 15 verse 20. And so I have made it my aim to preach the gospel, not where Christ was named, lest I should build on another man's foundation. That's why he went beyond everybody. He says, if I go and I see Peter is here, I leave Peter alone and move to the next level. I see Andrew is here, I move to where Andrew has never gone. He says, I'm always looking for new territory where nobody has ever touched. It's called ambition. And in the end, he took the gospel more than everybody else. In 1 Corinthians chapter 9 verse 16, he says, for if I preach the gospel, I have nothing to boast of. For necessity is laid upon me. Yes, woe is me if I do not preach the gospel. Pressure is on me to preach. And there's nothing to even brag about. 2 Corinthians chapter 10 verse 12. For we dare not class ourselves or compare ourselves with those who commend themselves. But they, measuring themselves by themselves and comparing themselves among themselves, are not wise. In other words, they are foolish. What is Paul saying? He says, I'm not in the business of determining who is better, who did better, who is that, who is greater. Because that is foolishness. I just want to be the best for God. In 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 15 and 16, he says, not boasting of things beyond measure, that is in other men's labors, but having hope that as your faith is increased, we shall be greatly enlarged by you in our sphere. To preach the gospel in the regions beyond you and not to boast in another man's sphere of accomplishment. Paul is saying, I don't want my boast in life to be on people. Oh, my uncle did this. Do you know my brother? Have you heard about my brother? Yeah, he's my brother. Oh, he's my cousin. He's my father's uncle's whatever. Or these days, some of you young people, oh, look at me, I took a selfie with him. I took a selfie, and so what? Having his picture doesn't mean you have his achievement. Stop classifying your success in life by whom you took a picture with. Taking a picture with somebody is nothing. And some of you take pictures with people, they're on Instagram. Hey, yeah, and we say, hey. The person just arrived with his private jet. You have been using Poplomaja to get to where you are. And you took a picture with him and, hey, Instagram, hey. Taking pictures with people. Taking and showing it as your sign of success. Check out who I'm with. Who cares? Hey, look at who I met. Yeah, it's good to meet people and be proud of them, but their success will never rub off on you. Paul says, I don't want to boast in another man's work. I want to boast only in what I have achieved. I don't go out in life bragging about who is my friend, who is my neighbor, whom I met, who I had dinner with, who I had lunch with. And then some of you get a phone call. Hey, it's the old man. Yeah. Oh yes, sir. Sometimes it's not even the person. Oh yes, sir, yes, sir. You're saying yes, sir, to empty phone. I'm sure once you're saying yes, sir, the other person is a girl. He said, but I'm not saying. He said, yes, sir, yes, sir. Okay, yes, sir, I'll come for the appointment. I'm working off appointment. Yes, sir, yes, sir. Okay, sir, I'll see you. He's the old man. He's the old man. Put your hand on your head and say, Lord, deliver me. Paul had godly ambition. I want to achieve something. And I'm not going to do that by boasting in what other people have achieved. I want to be able to say, this is what I've done, that's what I've done. I appreciate what others have done, but I want to be able to say, this is my contribution. And it says, because of that, I put myself under pressure. In fact, when Paul was going to Jerusalem, everybody told him not to go. They said, Paul, is going to be hard. You'll be in prison. It's going to be difficult. And he says, don't annoy me. You think I came to life just to have pleasure? I have an assignment, and my assignment requires that I go to Rome and preach to Nero, the emperor. And if it's going to take prison for me to preach to that man, I'm going to go through prison to get to that man, because God has shown me what my life is all about. And because of that, he put himself under pressure. I pray that God will help you so that the treasure he has put within you will not die in you. The oil in you will not dry up. The favor he has put upon you will not just live inside of you. Even if you are old in age, from today I release you from the limitations of your age. And I declare to you that your best achievements are about to be heard. Your best accomplishments are about to be heard. You are about to make impact all over the world. If you are young, I want to tell you, there is no limitation of age on you. Your best days are ahead of you. You will accomplish great things in your youth. And all of you in between old and young, age is not a limitation. Go out there and do something wonderful for God. And if in the process you feel squeezed, just see the oil coming out. If in the process you feel you are being pounded, see the treasure coming out of your earthen vessel. If in the process you think, this life is so hard, I don't even know whether I'll survive. Look how God has made you survive up to now. He didn't bring you this way to let you stop here. Your best days are ahead of you. Your greater works are ahead of you. The favor of God is ahead of you. You are about to be a world changer. You are about to be a world changer. You are about to be an impact maker. The world is about to celebrate you now. In Jesus' name, give the Lord praise, everybody.